Hey there everyone, this is Jeff Perkins with JD Cutlery doing a quick review on a number of the nice new Brian Tighe and Friends mid-tech integral folders. This is the second review I've done on these. A couple of these have been done. One of them is for a VIP customer, as well as I've got a number of additional in stock that I will be able to do up for customers. If you have any requests, definitely give me a call, shoot me an email, let me know, and we can see what we can work out. I had the pleasure of spending some time with Brian and his wife, as well as Dave and his wife this weekend at the Southern California Custom Knife Show. Very good to spend time with them. They are great people, very down to earth, very knowledgeable, just a joy to talk to and hang out with. So it was a lot of fun. Have some exciting new things that will be coming that I'll be working on with Tighe and Friends as well. They are going to make up some of the Tighe Fighter mid-techs. Right now they don't have any in titanium, but he did say, Dave said that he would go ahead and make a batch for me. So very excited about that, because that's not a knife that's in production right now in titanium. For those of you that don't know exactly what the Tighe Fighter looks like, this is the custom Tighe Fighter. This one's a modified Tonto with the large blade, that blue denim stonewash, and the two-tone satin finish and acid stonewash blade. Great knife. I am very pleased with both the Tighe Fighter as well as the integral tie breaker. I loved the tie breaker. Was the very first Brian Tighe knife that I owned. The original, well, I should say the second model of the tie breaker is the one I owned. It was the button lock. The first one he did was a frame lock, then he went to the button lock, and now he's working with the integrals. So I like the integrals because they have much beefier blades, beefier handles, a lot more weight to them than the standard. The other cool thing that I'll be working on with Brian as well is he is going to get some of his custom California legal autos, and I'll be picking up a couple of those. I'll do some anodizing on those, and they will be the custom model. He doesn't make those in the mid-tech form, so those will be custom, and he's given me the okay to do some anodizing on some of them. Typically, I do not anodize on custom knives. I don't touch custom knives because the custom maker made it the way they wanted it made. So, just my rule of thumb is typically I would not do that, but he approached me about selling those and working on some of those, so I am more than happy to jump in and give it a try and see what we can get going. So let's go ahead and jump in on these real quick. This video is really, it does have a couple different ones in it. Really, it's put together for two different reasons. First one, which is a biggie, is to put a video out for one of my VIP customers. This is the Tighe Fighter, the Tie Breaker Integral, just like all of these, done with green. It's still got some shading in there, so it's been buffed out heavy. It has the green, and the tips of these have been lightly sanded. You have blue. The flats are all blue, as well as the pocket clip has been buffed out in blue. So you do have some shading in the scalloped edges. Gives it a little extra tone. It's hard to buff all that stuff out of there with all the different texture on this knife. as far as the different levels. You really can't get it all out as far as getting it perfectly buffed all the way around, but it gives it a lot more dimension. Look at the way this thing changes color as you turn it in the light. This blue and green combo is just fantastic. I really like this knife. That integral, one solid piece of steel all the way down the back is amazing. This is the only auto I've done. The auto is taken apart and assembled, disassembled in a totally different manner than the flipper. So I got this one apart. I was all excited. I already done a couple of the flippers and was like, oh, no problem. Started taking it apart real quick and got it apart and was like, oh my, can't quite get that back together. Thankfully, knowing that I was going to see Dave at the knife show, I talked to him and he said he was more than willing to put it back together for me. So he got that back together. So it's actually been reassembled officially by Tighe Friends Company. So that's a good deal as well. Really happy with the way this turned out. That blue and green combo is just great. It's got his proprietary hardware. The collar around the hardware for the pivot is titanium, but it's a different color. It's actually the same color as this. Trying to buff that thing out is just looking for me to lose it. As you're holding these little tiny pieces trying to buff them, that buffer grabs them, shoots them across the workshop, and you don't find things. Things get damaged. So I didn't do anything with the collars on this one. But pocket clip matches the flats nicely. And yes, this is the auto version. Like I said, I won't have too many of the autos just because of the California issues. This is well over legal limit in California, and I don't want to have problems with what I can sell on my website, that type of thing. So the little custom California legal autos that he's making, I will be carrying. But these will only be by request, pre-order, that type of deal. And I need to know where you're at so we know if there's any issues. But the action on these, really nice. A lot of kick. You can see it kind of pops my hand back a little bit. It's got a lot of kick with that spring that he's got in there. So really nice quality. There's a shot of that button lock, which of course is also the release on the automatic. Centered up pretty nicely. I love the way this is just all machined out and milled out for your lanyard. Looks so nice, nice and sculpted. Keep going for that flipper. This is cool though. If I was able to carry an auto, this is where I would be. Very cool knife. Very happy with the way this one turned out. I just love all the different ways this looks. As you move it in the light, you get the shading that's in here, then you just get those buffed out areas giving you all kinds of different color. So very cool knife. Like I said, this one was a pre-done for one of my VIP customers. This one was in the last video as well. I just thought I'd throw it in here again since I was doing some. This is a purple to green fade. This one was not buffed out, so it's got the bead blast finish, sanded flats with the bronze flats, as well as bronze on those little high points and on the pocket clip. Flips like a champ. They flip in really nice. I'm going to do a comparison because I do have a custom integral sitting here as well. I'll do that in just a couple minutes. I just wanted to throw that out here, show everybody that again. And I wanted to do a quick follow-up. So this is one of the mid-techs. It is the clip point blade, and this is the one that I've been carrying now since the USN show, about a month and a half I guess it is. As you get to using it, You can see that sucker is nice and smooth with a little bit of action. If you get your thumb in there, a little bit of action, you can get that blade to fall right down. When you first get them, they won't do that. Here's a brand new one. Well, actually that one's not bad either. It's not quite as smooth. The other one's just a little bit smoother because I've been carrying it. So this is how she comes out of the box. Bead blasted, titanium pocket clip, titanium pivot collar. This is one to give you an idea after I've carried it every single day for a month and a half. So you can see that shading in there with the buffing. Again, makes all the difference in colors. Got the bronze on the high voltage blue, but very nice action. Definitely flips out nicely. Good sound, holding up really nicely. That pocket clip, I like that design, how he's got that set up. If you don't know how it's put together, you've got no idea how he's got that sucker screwed in there. Really cool design. This one has seen a lot of pocket time. Very, very happy with the mid-tech version. So happy that I wasn't really planning on doing this, but I got there, got talking, and fell in love. This is the full custom version. So this one, you can see he did a acid wash, a stone tumble, and then did the flats. These have zirconium pivot collars as well as zirconium pocket clip. You're in the RWL steel versus the let's say S30V steel in the mid-techs. RWL or Damasteel is what he uses on all his customs. Some people are going to look at that and say, well, what's the difference? What are you seeing that's different? Number one, you've got materials difference. You got the zirconium. As you look at these, definitely starting with the blade, there's a definite difference. All the grinds are much crisper in the blade. You can see where that modified, I guess you could call that a modified tanto or modified spear point. You got that compound going. You got a very distinct line. You've got the line here, but it's a smoother line. Pointier edge here, pointier up here where it meets. Definitely a difference side by side in the top. The swedge is different on this. Just crisper lines, sharper lines. I mean, you can definitely tell that this is the custom version. As you flip it, it's got a slight bit crisper sound to it. And yeah, watch how that blade just falls in there. So if you do any wrist action, it'll pop back open. So all you really need to do is just push the button and let her fall. So very cool. Differences, anodized by me, you're looking at about $510. Custom done by Brian Tighe. Total custom knife, $850 for this version. So definitely a big difference in price, difference in materials. Overall, smooth fit and finish is definitely higher, what you'd expect in a custom knife. But man, I am in love with this one. I really liked his hand rub blades. He had a number of them that had hand rubbed. He had full carbon fiber integrals. They were really cool, super light. I'm just all about titanium. Of course, it's what I work on. I like a heavier knife. So that's kind of what it came down to for me, was I like a heavier knife that I know is going to be super solid. His hand rub blades were just beautiful. The lines in the blade were so much more distinct with that hand rub finish. Problem for me with the hand rub finish is I use these knives. That Tighe Fighter you saw a couple minutes ago, carried it every day for the last year. I mean, a lot of heavy carry until I picked up that one there. Very heavy carry. So probably 80% of the time was that Tighe Fighter. I like that acid stone wash because it hides anything that you do to the blade. So it gives it a classy two-tone look. Thing just fits in your hand like a champ. Nice chimping at the top. Really can't say enough about these. So just wanted to throw that in there. There is definitely a difference. I know if people have been watching videos and that kind of thing and looking at pictures, I wanted to throw out what some of those differences are on a quick video, putting the custom next to it. You're getting what you pay for in the custom. The mid-tech is no slouch. It's a fantastic knife. Great knife. Not everybody can afford an $850 knife. They only go up from there. You can get into his Damasteel blades. He had some really cool Tighe Fighters with all kinds of cool handles. So you just can't go wrong, but the mid-techs make it much more affordable. Like I said, I'm super excited that Tighe & Friends is going to put together some of the Tighe Fighter mid-techs for me in titanium. That'll be a biggie. Those are great knives. Really love them. I just can't say enough good stuff. Great people over at Tighe & Friends, and of course Brian Tighe is just an outstanding stand-up guy. Been in the industry for a long time. Has a very well-deserved reputation of quality and craftsmanship. Well, thank you for tuning into this video. Again, this one is available on the website currently. I do have this drop point that I haven't worked on, as well as one more of the modified spear point that I haven't worked on. So if it's something that you're looking for, drop me a line, let me know. I will go ahead and do it up the way you'd like it, or as close as I possibly can to the way you'd like it, and we can move on it from there. I don't know that I'll sit on these long without working on them, so if it is something that you think you want to do, drop that line, because I'll probably work on it within the next 3 weeks. If nobody's talked to me, I'll put together some cool colors and run with it from there. Thank you again for tuning in. Please check us out on our website, www.jdcutlery.com, and we'll see you on the next one.